Welcome to Big Dot Dose series, where your life stories and adventures are shared. I am your host, Calvin Go.
Good evening to you all, both followers and subscribers. My name is Calvin Do, and this is the first edition of Big Do series. Yes, the first edition of Big Do series. So, some of you may ask, why this channel? Why this channel? Okay, so the reason for this channel is that aside Big Do series, I have a site on TikTok where that is I'm called Dance Lord, where I can dance. So I do other channels to showcase other talents I have. So on TikTok I'm a dancer, then on YouTube I write my own stories and tell them to people to share their views and help them to write their own stories. Yeah, so that is the reason for me being here today, is that I'm going to share some few stories with you. Most of them are my life stories. Most of them I made them myself. Then if you want to write your own story, I'll teach you how to go about that. So that is the reason for Big Do series. So are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the first story we'll be reading is entitled My Stay at the Hospital. My Stay at the Hospital. And this story is not a live story, but I just created it myself. So the story is about a young boy, who was the only child of his parents. Yeah, who was the only child of his parents. And being the only child of his parents, he took it as a normal thing to him. He was okay being the only child of his parents. But other people who hears about that thinks it was a burden, because it has been so many years since their parents had another child before that kid. So I think it was a burden onto them. Until one lucky day, we heard a cry at the hospital. So let's see how the story goes about. So, my stay at the hospital. Being the only child of my parents was something normal for me. But for other children, they thought it was a burden onto my family. At sundown, 6:30 p.m., as I sat at the porch, I heard loud noises coming from the hall room. I quickly rushed to the hall room, seeing my mom lying on the carpet screaming and shouting for help. I recognized she was in pain, so I quickly went upstairs for my dad, who was sleeping and snoring. Suddenly, he woke up in shock and asked where the noise was coming from. I replied by saying, "It's from my mom."